Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the phrase artists are going to art. That is something that I've said many times in various live streams, and I think it's been misconstrued at times. It's not, don't get overexcited, don't enjoy the set. I'm not saying don't enjoy it. There's always going to be better and more art out there. It's don't go too far with it. Don't get caught up in the hype, the FOMO. There is so much affordable, achievable, beautiful art out there. I mean, I say that in front of all these non-trading card, but in front of all these beautiful pieces of art. I don't really have like a PowerPoint today, but I am just going to show some stuff. I think Hidden Fates is a set that really stood out for its time. 2019, how far we've come since then. But the Shiny Vault was pretty innovative at the time. You had about half of it, half art. The remaining half, you had the baby shinies and then the full art shinies. Using the whole card, Pokemon in their shiny form, really, really cool, unique designs for the time. And then they go and outdo themselves, set after set after set. Alt arts become more of a thing. I also pulled up, for anyone wondering what this website is, highly recommend pkmncards.com, pokemoncards.com. They have high resolution images of all sets of Pokemon. I believe English only. I don't think they do Japanese. But yeah, now I'm showing Crown Zenith. I'm probably going to get a little rambly, be all over the place in this video. But all I'm trying to say is my name is Catch 'em All Collectibles. You don't have to actually catch them all. I think sometimes people get really, as I said, caught up in the hype, caught up in the FOMO. Sometimes they get discouraged. Sometimes they feel upset over the fact that some of these sets out of the gate, they really stunk like crazy, not affordable, unachievable, whatever it may be. There's always alternatives, and there's always more sets, and there's always going to be new ones in the future, for the foreseeable future. We're in like a golden age. If you're feeling any kind of negative emotions or opinions about what's going on in certain aspects of the market, buy where you see value. I did 2 videos last week. I did a short and I did a full length video where I kind of just compared. One was the pack opening experience, right? Like buying a WotC pack, $660 versus how far that could get you with celebrations, with any modern set. Pick out the modern set. It can get you so much further. Buy where you see the value. Buy what you enjoy, and your money can go a long way. If you're not necessarily, maybe you can't always ride the latest hype wave that every YouTuber, every open mouth thumbnail is referencing, is talking about. But there's so many beautiful cards out there. Going from the Shiny Vault to what they're doing now, the Galarian Gallery and Crown Zenith. Look at V-Star Universe booster boxes. As they came out, I don't remember what they peaked at. I historically haven't kept too in tune with Japanese product, but I am going to start carrying some of it for most sets moving ahead. 150, I want to say around release, 150, 160. Everyone was talking about it. A lot of people were upset. You can't get it. Where is it? It's hard to find. It's too expensive. Scalpers, flippers, whatever you want to call it. It's 90 bucks now. It's 80 to 90 bucks. I think I do have a Plaza Japan link open. Let me see. Yeah. Right now, look, I mean, 40 to $50 retail price if you convert the yen to USD. The standard retail price for these booster boxes, 272 out of the gate, 173 out of the gate. We've got Triplet Beat doing 135 out of the gate. V-Star Universe, though, this case is sold out, but there are individual boxes for 90 bucks a piece. Sometimes on eBay, even less than that, direct from Japan. And no one's talking about it nearly as much. Kind of proportionally to the price, that's how much energy and effort people put into talking about things. I understand when the latest and greatest TV show is on, you want to be there on premiere night, you want to watch it so you can go on Twitter, you can go on Discord, you can go on Facebook, you can talk about it with your coworkers the next day at work. But to an extent, pending your budget, pending all the other things, you really just need to find out what brings you the most happiness and the most value. And I think for many people, oftentimes it you'll be able to get more out of it if you're fine just being like a set or two behind, being a couple cycles behind the hype wave, the never-ending hype wave. These things are designed by these companies to just get you to try to keep up with the Joneses, try to be buying that latest, greatest, hottest thing, but you really don't have to. You can try to catch them all, you can do your best, but in absolute dollar terms, you're going to be better off and you're going to get further skipping out on some of the ones that never come around to any sane price point, or just waiting. Look at a year or two ago, VMAX Climax. Prices were over $100 for so long, all the hype, everyone had to have it. And then one period over the summer, I forget if it was last summer or the summer before, it went down to 50 bucks, 45 bucks a box. I ended up buying 100 of them then. That was one of my first forays into like a Japanese special set. And now it's slowly crept back up. I mean, you gotta, if you're looking only at the YouTube thumbnails, hot, new, trending, all that, and you're trying to buy those specific products, generally it's going to be proportional to the price. How much it's being talked about is how much it costs, correlated. But yeah, maybe try to optimize for your budget. If you have the budget, if you have the money and you're willing to part with it and you're comfortable paying those prices, I'm not trying to tell you to not go and buy Clayburst. I'm not trying to tell you to not go and buy Triplet Beat. But I'm just trying to get you to consciously think about it and answer the question, is that actually bringing the most value to you for your dollar? Me personally, it doesn't. Here's an example of something that kind of fits this narrative, this trend that I see, where price goes up, people want it more, have to have it, you can't get it, you have to have it. I've been buying 12 of these a week because that's what my distributor allows. No one's talking about it anymore. Had it been a $300 product today, everyone would be talking about it. People would be having to have it. I would be selling more. Right now, I can't sell any. I can't sell any because I don't want to make $2 per box. I'm buying 12 more every week. Some week, I don't know if it's 52 weeks, a year down the line. I don't know if it's 5 years down the line, whenever it may be. This product, I mean, you can get a Moonbreon in there. There's Evolving Skies in there. You can get so many different alt art sets from Sword and Shield. There's so much good stuff, including 3 unique Charizard arts on promos, guaranteed pulls packed into this box. And it's just the same trend over and over. VMAX Climax goes to 50. No one really talks about it. No one really wants it. I mean, clearly, some amount of people are out there buying it up. Some amount of people are value shoppers, bargain buyers, but it's not the latest and greatest trend on YouTube. It's not going to get you the 100,000 view video. It's not as sexy, but this is what is, right? When a product quadruples, quintuples, people want to buy it before it quadruples or quintuples again. People have to have it. Every time you spend 4 times retail on a product, or I mean, this isn't 4 times retail, but 4 times wholesale cost, 5 times wholesale cost, or triple retail plus, that is that much money that you can't buy on products. Like, that is literally 1/3 of the total product you can buy had you been buying it all at retail. So just make those considerations. I'm not telling you what to buy or trying to tell you how to collect or enjoy or the hobby, but I'm just trying to get you to make the conscious value considerations, because yeah, the gold secrets are amazing. They're beautiful cards. So is the Mewtwo V-Star, probably my favorite from the set, as I mentioned. Go to page 2 or page 3 and just don't get hung up that you can't get the latest Japanese waifu for $2,000. You can go through and you can build master sets of similar cards in English, or vice versa. Like there was a decade-long, if not longer, period that English was more expensive than Japanese significantly on every card, always. And now we're kind of in the other side of it. Things go through cycles. I don't know where we'll be in 5 years, but there are many ways to enjoy this hobby. It is as affordable as ever. Like on a per like art basis, artists are arting very heavily right now. In many regards, your dollar will go the furthest it's ever gone. Like this kind of art didn't exist a few years ago. And this is a $2 card. This is one of my probably top 5 cards in the set, Crown Zenith. I love the colors. I love what's going on there. Rayquaza VMAXs. I mean, look at this stuff. Look at this stuff, how cheap, how affordable it is. You can build a beautiful collection. You can really go a long ways with your dollar. You don't have to buy the $600 Japanese waifu. You don't have to buy the $2,000 one in PSA 10 either. Yeah, I guess I don't know how many more ways I can say it. I'm scrolling through some beautiful art here. There's a lot of nice stuff out there. I think we're very, very fortunate. So if all this is going on and all these cards are available for so cheap, and you're having a bad time because you can't get 50 or 100 of the select 2,000 that released this year. Like, what do we have? We have the Crown Zenith. Let's see. Let's go up. PokemonCards.com says 230 arts in this. This is one of 5 sets in one language that released this year. 1,000 English cards and maybe 1,000 Japanese cards every year. 2,000 new cards every year. And you get upset because you might not be able to afford like 50 or 100 of them. Me personally, I think it's just not the best way to go about it. I think you should, if everyone keeps paying the prices, right? If we show Pokemon, if we show these companies that we're just going to pay 8 times, 6 times, 5 times, 4 times retail right out of the gate, prices are going to go up. I mean, it's supply and demand, right? If people are willing to pay, they'll just charge it and it'll go up. At the end of the day, that's how it works. These are not needed goods. These are luxury goods. These are not necessities. These are just bonus things that are shiny and cool and look pretty, and we get to enjoy them. But you don't have to. So yeah, I'm probably just going to run in circles and keep getting really ranty. So I'm probably going to close out the video soon. One thing kind of related to all this conversation, maybe not super related. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I've done so many spreadsheets. I've done so much math on the numbers of like the print run. And for the first time ever, I really considered when I made this video, how many actual Pokemon cards, unique Pokemon cards have been printed in all different languages. And we knew the number, 40-something billion have been produced. 40-something billion Pokemon cards have been produced. Why did I never think to do the math of what's the average amount of a single like Pokemon card art printed? Well, I decided to do it. The reason I use this website, Wolfram Alpha, is just because when I did it in Google, you couldn't really see it. I have my screen cropped to show things on Pokemon cards well. So 40 billion, that's rounded down. 40 billion is rounded down. 20,000 is pretty accurate, I think, as far as unique card arts, language, all the different variants included. On average, each card there are 2 million copies of. And before people say it, there are not 2 million Moonbryons, likely. There are not 2 million of every card. That's the average. That's the average. But what I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of all this stuff out there. And a lot of trends on TCG player charts. A lot of trends are that things come out really, really high, and then they find a more reasonable point down the line. When the hype cycle, when the eyes, when the attention, when the thumbnails are elsewhere. And this isn't like gospel. This is not going to happen every time. There are exceptions. If you try to wait, there's no magic formula. I see a lot of people talking, do I wait 6 months? Do I wait 2 years? Do I wait 5 years? How long do I wait to buy my singles after a set release? Every set's going to be different. We don't know if and when things will get hit with the reprint hammer. It's always going to be speculation. But at the end of the day, this is the more normal one. This is the more normal one. Right now I'm looking at a sealed product, but this is the more normal price, or the more normal chart for like singles. Let's look at some of these singles from Crown Zenith. There's always going to be exceptions, but very generally speaking, people start out hot. People start out hot and they start out high, and it trends down from there. Down the line, zooming in on minor points, there's going to always be ups and downs, different little undulations. But very generally speaking, there's a big premium for impatience. And that's kind of been the theme of the video. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's always something to buy. It's generally not going to be, if everyone's talking about it, that's generally where you don't want to look. That's going to be more expensive. That's going to be this. If you wait till down here, your dollar's going to go further. But at the end of the day, if you've got the money, if you know where things are likely headed, and you're willing to pay those early premiums to get the first ones, that's fine. I mean, I'm not telling you to not. So yeah, I'm getting a little rambly, but at the end of the day, the average Pokemon card out there, pick one of the 20,000 at random. On average, they're going to have 2 million of that art in that language produced. There's a lot of all this stuff. The higher rarity it is, the lower that number is going to be. I know. People are going to say that. How many energy cards are there? How many Ultra Ball trainers are there? Yes. If they're in a deck, if they're in things like that, they're going to be significantly higher. But at the end of the day, this is all mass-produced stuff. And there's so much beautiful art out there that is very affordable and achievable. I'm not sponsored by Pokemon Center. I hope someday I will be. Look at these things. I mean, look at the size. Let me find a card. Look at the size of these compared to a Pokemon card. Look at the value you get. This is the size of a Pokemon card, and I paid $40 for this. This is a random Pikachu promo that I don't know what it's worth, but we're paying $1,000 for brand new cards that just released that are only this size. Similar art styles, similar art designs, whatever. That's all I've got for today, though. Artists are going to art. There's always going to be beautiful stuff coming down the pipeline. And I lied. One last thing I wanted to hit on. And I don't really know what implications it has, and I don't know what it means towards this video. But another thought that I had is, and I've heard other people talk about it. It's not like it's a unique thought. Power creep. Power creep is kind of the wrong terminology, but it's a common thing. If you've played any kind of a video game, you know what power creep means. Art getting exponentially better in many ways over time, and at some point it's going to hit a cap, right? At some point, Moore's law when it comes to computing power doubling. I forget what the exact ratio is or whatever. It doubles every few years, which is like an exponential that at some point, unless we get into quantum computing, is likely going to have to stop going at the rate it does. When will art? They're working within the confines of, what is it, 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch piece of paper. And they're using the whole thing. They're using the whole thing very well. What more can you do? I mean, look at this Pikachu art. Beautiful, beautiful card. How much further can you go? At what point does Pokemon power creep themselves out of being able to make the cards flashier? They still have, I mean, they can do serialized, they can do shiny alt arts, they can do many, many more things, but 10 more years down the line, 25 more years down the line, how much further can we go? And what does that mean? What will that do? Today we have 20,000 unique arts, 20,000 unique cards, 25 years in, 1,000 unique species almost, somewhere in there. 25 more years, we're going to have 40,000 with 100 billion cards produced, with 2,000 species. There's a lot out there, and there's a lot more coming. So yeah, at the end of the day, just consciously be aware, have a budget, all those good things. If you're flipping, if you're looking for liquidity as a business, FOMO obviously is a decent place to play, though it's dangerous. There's a lot of liquidity, obviously a lot of conversation there, a lot of money there. But if you're doing it as a collector, just know what you're doing, know what your goals are, know what game you're playing. And 5-6 minutes after I first said I was going to end the video, I'm actually going to end the video. As always, I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.